You know, life is all about comebacks. The world will try to tell you that you've had your shot, that you've hit your limits. But I'm here to tell you something different. 2025, this is your year. This is your comeback year. The past, it's over. The mistakes, they're done. The failures, they've taught you more than success ever will. Now, I don't care where you've been or what you've been through. If you're breathing right now, if you're standing here today, then you've got a second chance. And let me tell you something, there's no better time than now to rise up, to transform, to reinvent yourself. New year, new you. That's just the beginning. This is about the comeback. So don't you dare sit there waiting for someone to hand you what you deserve. Don't wait for the world to believe in you. You better believe in yourself first. And when you do, when you stand tall and make that choice to push forward no matter the odds, that's when the world has no choice but to step back and let you walk right through it. The power of a comeback is often misunderstood. People think of comebacks as rare moments of triumph, as if there's some kind of fluke, a moment of magic that only a select few are capable of experiencing. But I'm here to tell you that comebacks are not a matter of luck, they're a matter of decision. Every single one of us has the power to come back, no matter where we've been or what we faced. The comeback is not about returning to what was, it's about stepping into something greater than we've ever known before. It's about pushing past what was, what could have been, and believing in what will be. A true comeback begins with the realization that no situation, no failure, and no obstacle can define you unless you let it. People will try to label you based on your past mistakes, but the reality is your past has nothing to do with your potential. Your comeback doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be a grand spectacle. What matters is the decision to rise from where you've fallen, to dig deep, to find that spark inside you that refuses to be extinguished. That's where the real power lies, in your refusal to quit, even when it feels like everything is working against you. We've all been knocked down. We've all had moments where it seemed like the world was too heavy to carry. But I want you to understand something in those moments of struggle. You're not broken. You're being built. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most powerful leaders in the world, they all have one thing in common: they failed. And they failed hard. But they didn't stay down. They didn't let failure define their future. They used that failure as fuel to come back stronger than ever. A comeback isn't just about bouncing back to where you were. It's about coming back better, coming back stronger, coming back with a newfound sense of purpose and direction. The comeback is a choice. It's a conscious decision to rise above the pain, the disappointment, and the fear. The beauty of a comeback is that it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about the small steps, the daily grind that ultimately lead to the breakthrough moments. Think about it for a second. Every great story you've ever heard, every movie that left you inspired, every person you've ever admired for their strength and resilience, they all have a comeback story. They all faced adversity. They all had moments when it seemed like all hope was lost. But what sets them apart is not their ability to avoid failure, but their ability to get back up after it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out right away. But you do need to make that choice to rise again, to dust yourself off, and to keep moving forward. The power of the comeback also lies in the lessons you learned during the fall. It's in those moments of struggle that you learn who you really are, what you're truly capable of. When everything is going well, it's easy to think you've got it all figured out. But when the storm hits, that's when your character is tested. That's when you discover your true strength. The comeback isn't just about overcoming external obstacles. It's about conquering the internal doubts, the fears, and the limiting beliefs that hold you back. And it's never too late. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you've come from, or what mistakes you've made. A comeback can happen at any point in your life. Some people wait until they've hit rock bottom to make the decision to rise, while others find their way back to their true potential after years of success and comfort. Your comeback might not look like anyone else's. It doesn't need to. What matters is that you've made the choice to take control, to own your story, and to refuse to let circumstances define you. Part of the beauty of a comeback is that it forces you to redefine what success really means to you. When you've been knocked down, when you face failure head on, your perspective shifts. What you thought was important becomes secondary, and what really matters rises to the surface. For some, the comeback becomes about achieving external success, winning that championship, starting that business, reaching that goal. But for many, the comeback is about something much deeper. It's about self-respect. It's about finding peace within yourself. And it's about making a promise to yourself that you will never quit, no matter what. And let's be clear, comebacks aren't easy. They're not for the faint of heart. They demand everything from you. They demand your focus, your energy, your commitment, and your resilience. But the beauty of it is that they also reveal your true potential. The person you become in the process of the comeback is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you ever were before. You gain a level of confidence that no victory could ever give you. Because it's one thing to win when everything is in your favor. It's something entirely different to win after you've been down, after you've faced failure, after you've had every reason to quit, and yet you didn't. In fact, the more you embrace the power of the comeback, the more you begin to realize that setbacks are a necessary part of growth. Without them, you would never understand how resilient you really are. Without those challenges, you would never develop the strength and wisdom to handle the bigger obstacles ahead. The comeback is not just a return to normal, it's a journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. But the real power of a comeback lies in its ability to inspire others. When people see you rise from the ashes, when they see you fight back after every setback, they start to believe in their own ability to do the same. Your comeback becomes a beacon of hope for those who are still in the midst of their struggles. You don't even have to say anything, your actions will speak louder than words ever could. When they see you rise, they'll know they can rise too. What separates a comeback from a simple recovery is your mindset. Recovery is about getting back to where you were. A comeback is about going further than you ever thought possible. It's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. So when life hits you hard, when you face obstacles that seem insurmountable, remember this, the comeback is where the magic happens. It's in the struggle, the persistence, the relentless pursuit of something greater. It's in your refusal to stay down. The power of the comeback isn't just a story of triumph, it's the story of the human spirit. It's about the resilience, the grit, and the heart that lies within every single one of us. It's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up. And as long as you keep getting up, you will always have the power to make your comeback. Let go of past failures. This is perhaps one of the most important steps you can take on your journey of growth and transformation. Too often we find ourselves held captive by the weight of past mistakes, missed opportunities, and decisions we regret. We replay those moments over and over in our minds, allowing them to shape how we view ourselves and our future. But here's the truth, your past does not have to dictate your future. The weight you carry is a choice. And the moment you decide to release it, you reclaim your power. We all have things we wish we could change, decisions that, if we could turn back time, we would handle differently. But the reality is, no matter how much we dwell on those mistakes, no matter how many times we wish we could go back and fix things, we can't. Time moves forward, and so must we. Holding on to those failures is like tying an anchor to your foot and trying to run forward. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's exhausting. And ultimately, it keeps you stuck. The longer you hold on to the past, the less room you make for the new opportunities, experiences, and growth that are waiting for you. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending like the pain, the mistakes, or the failures never happened. Letting go means acknowledging that those experiences have already played their role in your story. They've taught you valuable lessons, showed you where you need to improve, and shape the person you are today. But it also means that you don't have to continue carrying them around with you, as if there's some kind of burden that defines who you are. Your past is simply a part of your story, not the whole story. Just because something didn't work out the way you planned doesn't mean you can't still succeed. In fact, the most successful people often have the most painful, complex past. They've been through setbacks, disappointments, and failures that would have stopped many people in their tracks. But they let go of the pain, learned from it, and moved forward. They didn't let their failures define them. Instead, they used those failures as stepping stones. They realized that failure is not permanent. It's not a reflection of their worth. It's simply a part of the process of getting better. There's a powerful freedom that comes when you release the grip your past has over you. When you stop letting it control your emotions, your decisions, and your self-worth, you make space for something new. You make space for growth. You make space for opportunity. But in order to do that, you have to make the conscious choice to let go. This is where personal responsibility comes in. You are the one holding on to the past. You are the one allowing those old mistakes, disappointments, and regrets to keep you stuck. The moment you decide to release them, you take back control. Letting go also means forgiving yourself. Many times we carry around guilt or shame for things we've done or didn't do. We beat ourselves up for decisions that didn't pan out the way we hoped. We hold on to that self-criticism, thinking that it will somehow make us better, but all it does is keep us in a cycle of negative self-talk. The truth is, no one is perfect. We all make mistakes. We all mess up. But that doesn't mean you're a failure. That doesn't mean you are broken beyond repair. It simply means you are human. Forgiving yourself is an act of compassion. It's acknowledging that you did the best you could with the knowledge, resources, and emotional state you had at the time. It's understanding that growth doesn't happen in a straight line, but through the twists and turns, the failures and triumphs that come with the journey. So forgive yourself. Let go of the guilt, the shame, the regret. They no longer serve you. And without them, you'll find the space to be better, to be stronger, to be more at peace with who you are and where you're going. Another important aspect of letting go is releasing the need for external validation. Many of us tie our self-worth to the opinions and judgments of others. We look for approval, for recognition, for someone to tell us that we're doing okay. But this is a trap. Relying on others to validate you will only leave you empty. No one else can define your worth. You are the only one who can decide what you're worth. And you are worth far more than the mistakes of your past.